name or the building?
The name. Name came first. The last handful of events that we did were in the back alley of our apartment.
What's up, everybody? I'm Chris, and that's Spencer, and we own a coffee roasting company called Thesis. It's a snowboard, skateboard, coffee brand rooted in purpose and community. And now we're opening The Collective, our new multi-roaster slow bar concept built for conversation, creativity, and crazy good coffee. This is season 1, where we bring you behind the scenes of opening a coffee shop from scratch, from design days and build-outs to coffee trips, wild ideas, and everyday chaos. This is the real, unfiltered journey of chasing something meaningful.
What up, Spencer? Yeah, take a look at, when you try that on, look into the camera. I'm making sure. It's like one thing that's just so cool about having the shop is, I work it pretty much every day. And it's just so rewarding and so fun when you got people that you haven't seen in, okay, I'm 36 now, so you go back, 20 years ago. Probably last time I saw Tim Conway, that was his name.
Okay, there you go.
And you just, people oh yeah, we heard you had a shop up here, we wanted to come check it out and stop in and say hi. And it's like, I would not reconnect with all these different people if it wasn't for it's so cool to have that space where you can reconnect old relationships, obviously make new ones, and also be there for the community all at the same time. It's there's personal benefit, and then there's also just it's just cool. It's just cool to see all the different things that come to when you have a space that's, 12 years ago, I kind of started doing events, and that was kind of the start of the shop, in a sense, was starting building culture and building a following of just building that following. It's not about building a following for an individual want, or it's let's just start curating culture. Let's start building this. And so I started doing events and stuff like that. And then over time, after doing so many events, it was we need a space. And if we had a space, we could keep curating and keep you'd have a home pretty much for, for the events, for the community, and for what was getting established. It's if we had a spot where we could just kind of house that a little bit more permanently, that would be amazing. But it's so cool to see people come in that you haven't seen in a long time and be so supportive and so stoked, and just I don't know, it's cool.
What came first, the name or the building?
The name. Name came first. We were doing these pop-ups. Like I said, we were doing events first, right? Yeah. And so we were doing events we do them at kind of all over, right? But the last handful of events that we did were in the back alley of our apartment.
Okay.
And so we called them the back alley pop-up because it was in the back alley. And we'd have our friends that either, or artists that made stuff, or friends that snowboarded that had stuff from sponsors that they'd give away. We had, I made Jerry Chair at the time. Still make it, still exists. But yeah, it was kind of we just kind of put on this event with music, local vendors, and just brought a community together. And so we called it the Back Alley Pop-Up. Then, when we started looking for a space, stumbled upon this one, and I was like, oh, this is sick. This could do everything that we want, like the vision and the community and everything that we wanted. I was like, this is gonna work perfect. We got this big parking lot for events. We got this space with the garage door. This works. And then me and Raya were talking about, well, what should we call it? And my wife's like, it's still in the back alley. You should just stick with the back alley. So it was it just kind of worked, It was one of those things I guess it's meant to be, Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. A lot of people say oh, I just love how you came up with the name. It makes so much sense. And I don't really tell people that because it's kind of a little bit of a, not really that lengthy of a story, but it's oh yeah, thanks.
But it's a unique story, and I think it's great.
But yeah, it's it actually just kind of happened. We were doing things called the back alley before, and then it just so happened. Because I was looking at spots in the country. I didn't really care where it was, because I was if we keep doing events and doing stuff with the community, people will just travel to it.
Yeah.
more destination. And when we found it just worked. When we found this, I was like, sweet, this works. And it's in a back alley, ironically. Lovely. I guess we're gonna run it.
It was meant to be. It really was.
Yep. And then like the coffee shop aspect. Like when we were doing pop-ups, you know, we had different like Dogwood Coffee would sponsor it, and they'd give us like, you know, air pots of coffee to serve at our events. And when we opened, we had Almanac Coffee, which is just down the street here, and we had them just doing drip coffee, and I had like a lever action espresso machine. We'd rip that, and then as like the coffee grew, we kept upping our coffee game. As the surf grew, we kept upping the surf game, and then slowly just grew as the community wanted us to grow, pretty much, you know? Didn't push it too hard, but it got to a point where I was like, okay, we need to run this like a business. This has to work if we're gonna do this, because we gotta be here every day. And we want to be here every day. You don't have to be, but we want to be, you know? And yeah, just all the things just kind of grew very grassroots-like, I would say. I don't think I could duplicate it. If I did a second one, it'd just be weird. We actually had like a small store in Canal Park for 2 months.
Okay.
We did do that as like a friend of ours. Like we had this opportunity. It was a 2-month thing, so it was only a 2-month situation. And we did it, and we were just like happy we did it. It was cool, but it was also like it really made us appreciate just like this space. And that spot was on like the mag drag of Minnesota Avenue in Canal Park, right? So it was like every person that walked by walked in, and that's just one thing. Like we're not like exclusive to anybody. We're open to everybody, welcoming to all. But it does kind of bring more of a community that wants to be here. You know, it's people that like want to be part of it, and people that kind of just have the same values. People that have just, or not even that, just people that just like not even same, just people that enjoy it. You know, they want to be there. They seek it out. They find it. You know, it's not just like people are just like, I'm gonna go in here because it's right here. Takes just a little bit of work. We're still very convenient, but it just takes a little bit extra. But yeah, no, so that definitely, like, that's something that I definitely learned, like, having that spot in Canal Park was, like, more isn't always better, you know, like, having a spot, and that's why I always liked the idea of having a spot that was a little bit more destination, was just because, I don't know, it's not just every person coming there, it's people that want to be there will go there, you know? For sure. And so, I don't know. Duplicating it it just wasn't the same. At the end of the day, that was just not this, you know.
Ways of doing it.
Exactly, and like you got to realize at the end of the day, like it's the heart that matters. Right. You know, at the end of the day, it's like obviously you want to have good you want to serve good coffee, and you want to have like, you know, you're not obviously out there to like serve someone something that isn't worth what it is. Right. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it's about the experience, and it's about hospitality and treating people good, you know, and doing good. And if you're doing good and you're out there for the right reasons, I feel like people can feel that over anything else. Like, oh, that couch was only a $20 couch. That wasn't a $2,000 couch.
Couch looks super comfortable.
It doesn't matter, you know. At the end of the day, it's just like, it's like you said, it's like you gotta get a little like creative with it, but you can make it work. You know, and then
you don't need $1 million.
And you can grow. You buy that for now. 2 years down the road, that's the one thing that I've learned with this spot is it's always changing, and people love that. They come and they're like, "Wow, you added a wall," or like, "Oh, you got a bench over there now," or like,
I was like, "You got a bench?
Yeah.
Another table?"
Dude, yeah, and it's just like, it's fun because then people also get to be a part of the transformation over the years, you know? Little bit of whole milk in my life, a little bit of espresso by my side, a little bit of vanilla is what I need. I already put it in there, I think so. Yeah, you're gonna want that bit for the video, that's for sure. Yeah, for Spencer, you know, love that guy. I don't see him enough. But when
He's just
He is a good human being. And when we worked together back in the day at the house board shop, yeah, we had some good times. And I always left going, God, I didn't get to hang out with him that much outside of work. But I was always like, man, Spencer is like, I want to hang out with him because he just seems so cool. All right, now that I just warmed up to it, I'll give you this back here.